This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrott, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is Brian Edward Hill, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Joining me as always, that princely saint of a man from New Jersey. It is
Charlie the Professor Esser, and can I just say, Brian Edward Hill, I love you, but you are not nearly as cute as Luca Parrish.
I hear that every day. And coming from the armadillo-infested swamps of Florida, it is.
Hey y'all, it's Lil Hellfire.
For cuteness, Lilith is like right on par with Luca. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I would not take that away from Luca.
I was going to say another year or two, they might be the same height. Hey-oh.
Hey, I resemble that comment.
These kids grow fast, and then they stop, like Lilith.
No, true story. That's what happened to me. I was the tallest kid in my class until like 5th grade, and then everybody else just kind of...
Yep. You got cocky, Lilith. You got cocky. Like, I am the tallest child ever. Whoa. And then you demanded they serve you, and then they all outgrew you.
What happened is I actually stopped drinking commercially produced milk. So,
well, that's your mistake. You lost all that bovine growth hormone. That's what it's there for, Lilith. If Dr. Mellis gives you the hormones, take the hormones. Yeah, Dr. Mellis knows what's good for you.
Living proof it's not actually good for you.
Everyone just started growing quicker than Lilith, and she was like, what the F?
Oh, God, Ray.
Ray. Okay.
What's on the agenda today, Phil?
Well, Charlie Esser, did you want to start with Stargirl?
Do I want to start with Stargirl?
The only new TV show.
No, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on, but we
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is too. Look, Stargirl, they're so mean to poor Dr. Mid-Nite.
Oh, bad.
I don't like it. I'm not here for it. It's like, oh, we're all jocks and you're a nerd and we hate nerds. So because you're a nerd, we don't like you. Your power is nerd? We don't like the power nerd. Shame for your nerd power. Here, bully, have mega strength for an hour.
Well, they're teenagers. They're just thinking of the physical.
Hour? Oh, shots fired.
No, it's like, look, okay.
Superheroes.
I'm going to say this. The black girl with the thick glasses, she's a big nerd, reminds me a lot of my wife. And so I'm super defensive of her. I want to punch Stargirl and freaking Wildcat every time they say something mean about her. It's like, don't you talk about my woman that way. I've got my 18th century mustache and I can box.
Fair enough with that.
It's like, no, it's like, and clearly she knows stuff and she can make the tech work. Because clearly the tech was like,
win them over. That's just how those high school stories go. It's trite, it's cliche, but it's familiar, it's comfortable for a lot of people.
Those girls will be
surprise people. It's gonna be fine.
It wasn't comfortable for me as the nerd. That's all I'm saying.
Everybody's got to have a screech. As an 80s baby, 90s kid, everybody's got to have a screech.
Look, I'm as down with a nerdlinger as anyone.
Saved by the bell.
But the fact of the matter is, the nerd in the group was always treated with respect. prior to Screech. So maybe it's just your hateful millennial vibes.
Oh,
Actually, that's kind of more a Gen X thing, but okay.
No, the nerd was always appreciated in the group. Every group had a nerd. Every nerd.
Is that why it's called Revenge of the Nerds? Is it?
oh.
Well, that was about the societal group. So, as an example, if I'm gonna, you really want to go deep on this, let me give you a point. That Booger is actually your archetypical art guy who then befriends nerds, which is why he is the lawyer in the later group, because it's like, oh, only Booger would have become a lawyer among the highly enlightened nerds. So when you go into the nerds, there is actually a hierarchy within it, so that even Ogre becomes a nerd, even Gable becomes a nerd in later episodes of the story, because there was in the classic Gen X world a merging of the five forces of Captain Planet: the heart, the fire, the earth, the air, the water, all of them coming together, so you could have a jock and you'd have a nerd. And you'd see this in classic 80s comedies where you had a jock and a nerd and a cool kid, and they'd all be best friends because they were best
For
friends
that
from
day, and then Monday comes.
No, dude, have you ever seen Screwballs? Look, don't talk me late 70s, early 80s comedies, because you weren't there, Lilith. You were too young for that.
I have cable. I have a VHS and a DVD player.
I'm just saying, watch Screwballs. You'll see that there's a nerd character, there's a jock character, and there's a cool kid character. And there are clearly of different cliques, but they come together because they want to sexually assault the girl who's very obsessed with her sexual identity, which is its own bad thing. Don't get me wrong. 86 comedies are not a nice place to be, Tristan. Don't worry about it.
Charlie Esser.
Look, I'm just saying Screwballs was a very difficult film to watch. You have to understand it in its time and its place.
It was a different time, guys.
It wasn't a different time.
80s comedy.
Click my button. The thoughts of Charlie Esser do not necessarily reflect the views of the Cape and Lunatic podcast.
I mean, they don't. I mean, when you say sexually assault, they rip off. They use electromagnetism to tear off her clothing in a public setting, which is an assault. And it is of a sexual nature because it is breasts, and in the U.S., breasts are bad. But if we look at a more global perspective, that's the whole thing. But yes, but the idea that the jock and the nerd, I say that the Illuminati said if the jock and the nerd and the cool kid become friends, this is problematic. And so they drove a wedge between us.
What the F?
But the jock,
like I said, it's that I don't know. It's comfortable for everybody else, I guess, that was born after 81. I don't know. So it's just,
I don't know. I
just
just don't like
they know. It's
anyone
like
being treated poorly.
They know their demographic. It might not be for you, but they know their demographic, and people are comfortable with that story that they're telling. It's relatable for them.
I'm just saying that as a nerd, I did not like the treatment of our Dr. Mid-Nite, who is clearly the most capable member of the team.
And everybody will get their comeuppance. They will, I promise.
And well, you promised me lots of things.
And in Courtney's defense, I don't think she doesn't like Beth. I think it's like, oh, well, I don't think you can handle yourself. If I take you in the field, you're going to get killed.
No. Because Courtney specifically says, who are you? And it's like, we eat lunch every freaking day! Every freaking day we eat lunch together! And I'm kind to you, and I am nice to you, and you don't even know me because you are so wound up in your blonde hair, blue-eyed, popular world, you don't give an F. F means fudge. And
I thought you were going to say Fudd for Elmer Fudd, but okay. Since it's a Warner Brothers property.
I'm not going to infringe on any copyrights right now, Lilith. I'm being controversial. I don't need to get monetized or demonetized.
Try to make it stronger, Philip.
I promise
mad.
You, give it 2 more episodes, and they're going to be the best. And that's just how they build.
I know they will be, but the fact of the matter is, she shouldn't have to earn it. If Stargirl is a protagonist I'm supposed to support, she should be like.
She's still a teenage girl, and those.
I don't care. I don't care that she's a teenage girl.
It is a thing.
Well, you know what? But then don't be a superhero as freaking Pat Dugan. What is his name or something? This guy who drives a car that turns into a robot said earlier, you shouldn't be a superhero. This is not a job for teenagers. Because you are a stupid teenager. And I'm sorry I have to say that out loud, but it is truth. As anyone who is not a teenager will say.
Like the adults do the best of jobs. Come on.
They don't do the best. They don't. I'm not going to say they do the best. But I will say,
everybody has their flaws. To be a hero, you have to overcome that. That's the purpose of this story. They're legacy heroes. Like, I don't know. I get it.
I'm just saying it feels bad. They may have given a POC.
Let's be fair. People at DCTV don't know how to write people of color and their interactions very well. It's just a thing. I wish that it wasn't true, but it's a thing that carries through.
But you see, Lilith, you're making my point in this because it's like, oh, well, they're just bad at writing.
I've been watching the Arrowverse since day one. I'm desensitized.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah,
I had this conversation about how Felicity took Diggle's importance. Ooh, a pretty blonde lady taking the black guy's importance and making him a third wheel when everybody knows OTA is Diggling Oliver. I'm just saying, it's happened and it's been happening. They pushed Martian Manhunter to the background to focus on Alex. I mean, good for her, but not as interesting.
And but that's the point. I guess that's treated.
Look how Wally gets treated, shoved around in different shows, and all of a sudden he doesn't want. I'm just saying, it's a thing. It's a thing.
I know it's a thing, but we shouldn't accept it. I guess that's my point. And to go into Martian Manhunter, man, Snyder Cut, where was Martian Manhunter this entire time?
No, you blame Whedon for that one. That's the one we can definitely blame Whedon for.
I don't think so. I don't. You want to blame someone for the failure?
For the upskirt shots for sure. But
well, look, I mean, I'm not going to say an upskirt shot is a good thing, but I'm not going to flaw a film just because they exist.
Let's just say both cuts are terrible. Why are people surprised?
Why we don't
I'll go on I think we can both agree that all
I don't
cuts of a bad idea is a bad idea.
Is that how we're going to get world peace? The whole world finally agrees that the Snyder Cut doesn't need to happen either, or the Whedon Cut.
Well, as has been pointed out, that Martian Manhunter is freaking there in Man of Steel. That if that's Martian Manhunter in Man of Steel, and he's going to go, well, let's just see how this plays out. Oh, yeah, I know 1 million people died in Metropolis that day, but let's just see how it plays out.
I mean, his introductions have always made him kind of a dubious character, unfortunately, because, he's played by a black guy. But that's a whole other thing, too. like I said, it's the whole Warner Brothers thing about that. Like, I just... Live action, I just... it's a thing.
Yeah, it's also a weird thing, because... Martian Manhunter, I don't think actually used to be black. Well, I think they made black to
They
be
had to make yes for yes.
diversity, except
And that's
it's sort
why
of this idea
Cyborg
that
is in the Justice League. I'm just
it's sort of
saying,
this idea that, oh, hey, we'll make Martian Manhunter black because he's a shapeshifter, so he could be black. Except now you have to say that he chose to be black
it's
in a
like that scene on,
hyper-racist
in The Good
world.
Place. Apparently, I'm a black lady, and like, yeah, it's one
Oh,
of those
God.
things. I get it.
Oh, that and the Chick-fil-A reference is perfect. It's like, yeah, there's a chicken sandwich you eat, and if you eat it, it means you hate gay people? What is wrong with this
Humans, man.
planet?
Poor Phil has lost complete control. He's just holding on for dear life.
Hey, he suggested we talk about Stargirl. And you knew what happened in that episode, and you knew that was going to be controversial.
I promise you, because I trust Jeff Johns just a little bit more than I trust Greg Berlanti, that it will get better. It's just that
no, I know it'll get better.
they're playing into.
That's the thing. I know she's going to kick butt by the end. Here's the thing. Here's my thing. Here's my absolute thing. Naval reveals aside, which makes literally no sense, that you want your spandex costume to reveal your navel. I'm assuming it reveals her navel. It reveals a lot of meaty parts with no bone behind it that someone could easily stab. So it's not a good idea.
Teenage girl gymnast.
Have you seen what the kids are wearing lately? That's all.
No, I understand. Look,
teenagers don't make the best choices. You gotta get stabbed or a bullet hole.
But you know what? That's what I'll say. It's like at the end of the day, isn't there a fifth dimensional imp that's designing all the costumes at this point? You know, it's like, we'll make this fit. We'll make it fit. Man, I want to see that fifth dimensional imp. That's all I'm saying. This show needs a mix of
Stargirl, anything can happen. That's why I'm so excited for it. I still feel like it's a really, and plus it's like still a show that the whole family can watch so far.
Yeah.
There's so like I got like all my hopes and dreams on Stargirl right now, and I know that's a lot of pressure.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it when CW eventually puts it on, because unfortunately I can't watch it live because it doesn't come in on either my antenna or my cable, which is. I don't even know how that works, but we're just dealing with what we have to deal with here. But I don't like the dismissive list. I don't like the other person of color being dismissive of her just because she's a nerd. And granted, she hasn't shown that, yes, she has that physical quality. But, and this is one of the things that kind of wash that first, Tristan. Wash the plum. You always have to wash the fruit before you eat it. But yes, eat the plum. It's just it's a ritual humans have. We wash fruit. It was washed, so it's probably completely fine to eat just off the shelf.
Sorry to make you listen to all this.
That's fine. So you didn't enjoy the poison. Anyway. How did he keep the bugs off it, Tristan? Yes. It's fine, Tristan. Enjoy your plum. Anyway, sorry, where was I? Yes. They're mean to Captain Mid-Nite. Sorry, Dr. Mid-Nite, although she has a fleece leather jacket, a reference to Captain Mid-Nite, which I loved. That is a quality of this. It's like, oh, they're totally referencing Captain Mid-Nite in the costume design, even though it's Dr. Mid-Nite, because everyone wants to call her Captain Mid-Nite, because that's a thing.
I don't know what's going on.
So, that I loved. What, you didn't get that? You don't know Captain Mid-Nite wore like a fleece jacket because he was a pilot? He flew World War II, like kind of like biplanes.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that Captain Mid-Nite? Okay.
You don't know who Captain Mid-Nite is? Okay, Captain Mid-Nite was an old radio show. Okay, so superhero lore actually goes back way before comic books, and it exists as this thing. It actually exists all the way back to the Scarlet Pimpernel, who was the first superhero, you know, who was the first millionaire with a secret identity, who, you know, moves around against, you know, forces of evil. Written by a lady. Just like
Much like Frankenstein, you're welcome, men.
Yeah, we are very thankful. I acknowledge it, And the Three Musketeers was written by a black guy. It's like, trust me, I am fully willing to accept that white people didn't come up with anything, but we definitely build on other ideas. I think that's what we do. It's like, oh, hey, here's a great idea. Let's build on that. That's what white people do. We're very good at taking other people's ideas and building on it and making it better for everybody. Just don't take it personal, man. Just don't take it personal. That's all I'm saying. If we can all be cool with it, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, it's a bad idea.
What about you, Philip? How do you feel about Stargirl? Are you still hopeful?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, no, I think it's still holding strong. I don't think they've made it any.
It's that season 2 curse though that's gonna make it or break it.
True. Yeah. But I was just sad. I was just sad for what is it? What's his name? Was it Rich or? The parents leave and the uncle's just like a jerk.
Yeah.
That was sad.
I don't even understand what that's about because his uncle was going to be a Silicon Valley dude before
I think he was blaming his failures on life. Though, your parents made me come here. I'm like, if you had the kid, couldn't you have moved out of town? Did you have to stay there?
Well, literally, yeah. It's like sell the farm because clearly Icicle was buying stuff. Yeah. Like, hey, you want to buy our farm? Yeah. I'll give you $500,000 deal. Good. We're going to California. I got an app, and we're going to build an app. I'm going to be Elon Musk over there. You don't need to be in
California to do tech anymore, though. So,
well, you know what it is I think that
if you want to do the Catalina wine mixers, it's fine.
I get the feeling he was probably always a drunk redneck with more ideas than action.
I think
myself.
I think he's a loser, and he just blamed all, his misfortunes on. Oh, your parents made me come and raise you here.
Yeah, he gave him land and money and a kid.
How dare they?
And said, please take care of land and money and a kid. It's like, oh, well, the kid's why I didn't do anything because I had all this land and money, and rather than dealing with that and just getting a cash payout and then, becoming a grifter on the East or West Coast, which I literally could have done.
Tech is, honest to God.
I mean, literally.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I was watching some grifter thing recently, and it's like, yeah, okay, you're a grifter, so you're gonna grift. And so go grift now that you have money in the bank and you can actually build a bigger grift. And then, yes, I know you're going to blow through that money fast, but you've got land to sell, and that's griftable material.
I mean, they literally left him, what was it, 50,000 under the bed or something?
Yeah, they left him 50 grand cash, which is ridiculous.
It's like the 1950s in Blue Valley, apparently. So that's
honestly, Blue Valley is... The timeline in Blue Valley is its own problem. Because it literally starts in the year 2000.
Which 2000 is olden times now. I feel personally offended.
I called that out the first episode where they hold the Blue Valley High School yearbook and it has 00 on it. It's like,
that better be 1900, not 2000.
Yeah, if it's a 19, they don't do the 00. That's the point. It's like, clearly sliding time is not treating the JSA well.
It's Earth 2, the new Earth 2, so we're just going to let that go.
Yeah. It's like Earth 2 existed, but in the modern times.
New multiverse.
Let me just say the freaking lantern glows.
Yes.
We getting Alan
and
Scott,
so
y'all.
it's like,
I'm telling you, it's happening.
Don't be. It's like who's. And again, it's just this. Granted, teenage girl doesn't know to ask an adult for help. Because the last time I asked an adult for help, they said, "Look, these are very dangerous things.
Wait!
Don't just give superhuman strength to the school bully."
Yes, exactly.
It might not be the best idea.
Wait,
He's going to punch a tree.
What did you say about the Lantern Lilith?
Wood, man. Wood.
Thank you.
Here's your drop.
Well, that's why it's powerless against Solomon Grundy. We know that.
You can take him out with a number 2 pencil.
I want a little more love of Grundy in this. I'm very mad at the short shrift Grundy's getting.
Yeah, it's
I
basically.
think that's a season 2 thing, though. I think they're building to that, and that's going to be a season 2 thing when they can get a little bit more budget. Depending
But
on
the thing is, they
it's a
didn't
business thing.
have to do Grundy dirty. They didn't have to make him a 100% CGI character. Grundy was never that. Grundy was always Lou Ferrigno Hulk. He was never supposed to be bigger or he was superhuman in the same way Superman's superhuman. Same way our man is superhuman.
Hulk's always hard. For an hour.
I'm not saying you have to hire Lou Ferrigno, but Lou Ferrigno Jr. is already there. So, you know. I'm just saying you can get a big guy to be heck, you can get that freaking guy who played the Mountain in Game of Thrones to do it. One of the 6 people who did it.
I was gonna say, which one?
Yeah, exactly. And just have him come in and say, Solomon Grundy, born on Monday. You know. This is why I still say Justice League Dark has to get back to that. Because the actual poem is about the cycle of life.
Well, supposedly we're getting a Justice League Dark on HBO Max, so.
I want him to do it in the comics. You need to unite the parliaments. The parliaments must be united. It cannot be
they can't even unite the damn Justice League in the comics.
I know, they can't unite 7.
Unite the damn parliament.
They can't unite 7. You talking about parliament?
I'm just saying.
They can't even unite the 7 seas. Like, what are we... Poor Aquaman's battery.
I get your point, and I do understand it. But Grundy is the clear avatar of the United Parliaments. That if the parliaments were to unite, Grundy is the one who should unite it. And because
I think they're still testing the toy line to see if they want to go that route. I believe is how that works now.
Write the story, the toys will come.
No. You build the toys and write the story around it. # Batman and Robin. Still bitter. Still bitter.
And how well did those toys sell?
Really well, actually.
Oh, okay.
The toys did fine. It's the movie that was trash.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I agree with you about Grundy. I totally am behind that, and I hope that's what they're working towards, and not some weird okey doke switcheroony.
Unless they're trying to do a fake out where they're trying to make the people who don't know think he's just like mindless creature, and then somewhere down the line they're going to be like, oh no, there's much more depth to this character now.
Well, they've done that in the comics already.
Why couldn't we get the guy that played Butch to play him? Like Butch from Gotham? Like I
yeah, that was the other thing I didn't like about Grundy, that they made him a CGI Hulk. It's like, first off, you can't get shoes or an old suit to fit that. That's the thing. It's like the whole thing is he's a dude in shoes and a suit. And and to be honest, when they put Joe Fixit in the suit, he was a much smaller Hulk.
Yes.
He was like a Lou Ferrigno level Hulk when he was Joe Fixit because he had to fit the suit. Like Johnny Bravo. That's a Brady Bunch reference there. That's where that name comes from.
Another year 2000 reference.
A year 1976 reference, Philip. But thanks for playing. What?
Johnny Bravo.
No, Johnny Bravo was Greg Brady's character when he became a rock star.
Yeah, come on. You don't know Brady Bunch lore? Bro, I'm disappointed. I knew that.
I don't remember any details. Sorry.
Yes, no, it's okay, Philip. It's okay. Yes, Johnny Bravo was later reimagined as a character on Cartoon Network, but the character first is introduced as essentially a Monkeys-esque character in the Brady Bunch universe as this idea of it's sort of a Bob Dylan character for Greg Brady to personify, in which he fit the suit, which is the gag. That's where the gag he fit the suit comes from. Because he was the right size for the suit they had designed, and he fit the suit.
Let's just all be honest. That's really how pop music worked back then and even now. Let's just all be honest about that.
Oh yeah. No denying it. I mean, and to be fair, with auto-tune, that kind of works out. T-Pain basically said, you know what? You don't even have to sing good. You don't even have to sing good to do this stuff. You just got to get an auto-tune put in there. And T-Pain
and
let
thus
us all.
Music became absolute garbage.
Well, you can still do art and garbage, people. If
I miss
anything,
old Kanye. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just gonna say that Nick from Family Ties taught me that you can take garbage and make it art. So,
not everybody agrees with that relationship, but I was fine with it, which is also another Family Guy reference, by the way.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I think Nick and Mallory connected, and I think their children will have very happy lives. That's my belief.
Family Ties reboot, reunion. That's what I want to know. Although, never mind. Now that I think about it, never mind.
They did the Christmas Carol version where Michael J. Fox is bald, and that was a problem. And so, I think it's going to be a problem when they do it. I think they want to do it, but Michael Gross is playing evil characters now. I think he's enjoying that too much because he's got really into being, could I murder someone in this episode? And that's a problem with Michael Gross, and then
where's our Family Ties reunion? I was gonna be like, Tina Yothers, is that you?
What's Tina Yothers up to?
You're damn
Exactly, Charlie. What's Tina Yothers?
Well, you know what? She could be having a complete life. That's the thing. Is like a lot of actors leave it and they say, "Oh, I've gone to college. I got a degree. Let me use that." And then they work a day job.
Alec, for goodness sake.
Hell, Family Ties. Even the little baby brother went on to be Worf's son.
Well, there you go. So that guy's still working.
Please watch our Starfleet All Access podcast on Patreon.
One episode up, guys. If you don't mind, talking about
there's a Star Trek reference, we're obligated
it's
to
a lot
say
of
that.
fun.
If you don't mind talking Vulcan rape by Charlie Esther, yes, please join us.
Look, man, the Vulcans.
And he does have a point. I will stand by Charlie.
The Vulcans are the problem.
Don't give it away for free, Charlie Esther. That's behind the paywall. Don't be giving that away for free.
I didn't even say this in the podcast, but I'm going to tell you, when you actually see the origins of the Mirror universe, it's that freaking Zephram Cochrane shoots that Vulcan, and he was right. Zephram Cochrane in the Mirror universe was right. Those Vulcans. Zephram shot first, and I will stand by that. Those Vulcans, they're trouble, man.
We're off the rails completely. Can you please try to get us back on track?
Yes. Let's talk about something else, Phil.
How dare you derail us, Apple Juice?
Don't blame the apple juice. The apple juice was fine.
Do we want to go? So, do we want to go to comics?
As I said, the apple juice sticks in my mustache, so it's a constant feed now. Oh,
Lord! Talk about your having drip.
Whoa!
That's why it's the flavor saver.
Whoa! All right, are we going right to comics?
Unless there's anything else you want to talk about that was on TV. I didn't see anything but Stargirl, but
I mean,
Rick and Morty's done, so Stargirl it is.
No, I always want to talk about Rick and Morty, though.
No, I wanted to get your guys' quick thoughts on this. Did you see that new X-Men crossover that's coming up? That X of Swords.
Yeah,
they've jacked it up.
I mean, has anybody even on this podcast been reading Excalibur besides me?
I read the first 1 or 2 issues, but
it's interesting dynamics, but the story meanders, so I'm not really actually excited about any more.
Okay, so X of Swords is a thing. I mean, that's
It was. I forget how many parts it was before, but now they've jacked it. It's going to be 24 parts. I'm assuming it's
Why?
20 freaking 4 parts.
What
That's
is it,
2
the Clone
years.
Saga?
so many parts that they're going to put out a handbook with it too. Yes.
Oh, that's your
Okay,
favorite
so-
thing, Charlie. You might just pick up the handbook.
I don't think it's the good handbook. It's probably not.
Yeah, I mean, no. First off, I'm barely into mutants to start. So, well, here's a book.
How dare you, racist?
You put it on the reference
Yeah, I
shelf
am
with the rest
absolutely
of the
about.
encyclopedias.
Look, here's what I'm going to say. First off, X of Swords. It's basically Ten of Swords, which is the
Like Task Force X, yes.
no. If you actually go into tarot,
Weapon X, Weapon 10.
no, please. I want to say the Nine of Swords is the body laying with 9 swords, and I can't remember what the Ten of Swords is. So the Ten of Swords, it's another card in the tarot. So I'm going to have to look that up. But it's basically, honestly, the tarot is meant to be ambiguous in its interpretation. So they're intentionally invoking the Ten of Swords, which is not for nothing. If you're a magical person, a bad idea to invoke anything unless you mean it. That's like this thing. It's like, don't call that into your universe for some reason.
It's
And then
everybody.
you're gonna
It's that guy with his back getting all the swords in his back.
Is that
So,
the
yeah.
Ten of Swords? I thought that was the Nine of Swords.
Now, like the Nine of Swords is he's laying forward, but the guy on the 10 is like literally getting stabbed in the back.
Okay, so there you go. So there we go. So that is what the X of Swords is. It is the Ten of
It's
Swords.
stabbing the mutants in the back. Let the mutants be, for the love of God.
Well, yeah, but this is where we're going to reveal. Oh no, Krakoa was just,
It was
not
a dream.
the real X-Men. They were all clone X-Men that were all now we can kill because they're just clones.
Where has Moira McTaggart been since House of X and Powers of X?
No one cared. but
Who's
they're gonna
writing
answer
this? This is
You know who's writing this.
You know,
no, it's not Bendis. No, it's not Bendis.
No, it's the other guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name now because I'm blanking because I've had a lot of apple juice. I love the guy, but I'm going to do my 3-statement word here if I can remember his name.
is it Hickman?
Hickman! There you go, Hickman. You're going too far with this. But yes, so Ten of Swords. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe I'm misremembering my tarot training, and the Ten of Swords is not the guy with all the swords in his back. But yeah, so he's basically setting up. So basically, the entire mutant rebirth that he, detailed and Bibled is actually, it's all a betrayal. It's all gonna
I'm gonna tell you
be
who's betrayal to
undone,
the
so we can
X-Men
go back
fans.
to regular stuff later. There is no throuple. There was never a throuple.
No, that's gonna be the one thing that sticks because everybody kind of digs the throuple at this point. So you gotta keep that.
Thruple sticks? What?
I don't see. That's the thing is, I don't see Cyclops being cool
Cyclops
with a
is
throuple.
a freaking bland piece of rice. Anything to spice that man up, we'll take it.
He's a cuckold. He's a cuckold.
God, he's
I
like,
mean, I
He's a
can
cuckold.
get that, but in the kids comic, I don't know.
it's not for kids.
Since when
It's
are comics
not
been for
for
kids,
kids.
Charlie Esser?
For at least a decade and a half.
I'm just saying. I think honestly, if
It's
they
rated teen plus. I'm pretty sure.
If not before,
here's
we
what I'm gonna
lost- we
say,
lost the
I
comic
think
for
that
kids
nobody.
when
Here's
Spider-Man
the
made
truth of it, Phil.
Hmm.
As many cuckolds as there are out there, and I'm not going to say anything bad about you if you are a cuckold. I'm going to say no one wants to read the story of the cuckold. Unless that is literally your kink.
I disagree.
Unless that is literally your kink.
I know what's trending. I disagree with that.
Whoa.
I'm just going to say
Phil's on the
that,
internet. She will disagree with you.
that if you're going to go with throuple route, then either either. And there's a secondary argument that, who says that, Logan's not the cuckold in that situation?
Well,
We all think, he's so manly with his claws, but that's not what you do things with when you have claws.
But I mean,
to be blatantly honest, maybe a little concussive force redirected properly is the way you go with it. So,
but no, I just wonder, Marvel's whole game plan. Are they doing the cuckolding of Cyclops just to make Wolverine look better though too? Because they always try to
make Wolverine look better. I mean, honestly, Wolverine fans are gonna be fans of Wolverine literally no matter what you do.
True.
He has freaking knives pop out of his arms. That's his
brand, and he's made his fans, and his fans are what they are.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm not holding a lot of.
If you're not reading Marauders, please read Marauders. That is the only X book that I sanction at this point. Get on board, bro. Mutants and their pirates having fun adventures. What more do you want? Read Marauders for the love of God before it gets canceled, please.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling any of this. I mean, honestly, I was soft on mutants to start with, and it's just getting worse. It's like, now they're, on an island, and they're immortal, and they can just reclone themselves, because apparently they're from the Otto Octavius school of, don't matter, ain't no such thing as a soul.
Not quite soft, not quite hard.
I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm over it.
I hear you.
All right.
And it's like, I don't want to hear her. I honestly almost feel like Marvel just had a plan. Well, what if we just destroy the mutants, even if we never get them back? And like, let's set up a plan, destroy the mutants, make them not cool anymore. And then say, we already wrote the stories.
Sanitize them down a little bit to join the MCU anyway. So,
I told you, I think they're using this as a holding pattern until they see what form they take in the MCU, and then they're going to say, "Oh yeah, these are clones. Yeah, here's the nice shiny X-Men back.
Just bring back the humans instead of mutants in the MCU. It'll be fine."
As I said on Super Connectivity, our introduction to mutants is going to be in Black Panther 2, The Wedding of Storm.
Actually, I think Fantastic Four is going to come out of Black Panther. That actually makes the most sense.
Well, but I think they're going to have the Wedding of Storm. That's the thing. I think it's going to be this big reveal that...
Why not both?
Well, because here was the thing. As I said on Super Connectivity...
Oh, yeah, because Suits never try to shove 20 million things in a movie.
Well, here's the thing.
MCU has been better about that. I'm not going to lie.
True.
Look, in the actual Storm and Black Panther wedding, there was this whole thing about, here's Isaiah Bradley. He got invited to the wedding because he was the Black Captain America. And of course, they knew about that in Wakanda. They didn't know about it in the rest of the world. And so you're going to have all of these superheroes that no one ever heard of because, those weren't the blonde-haired, blue-eyed superheroes, so we didn't talk about them much. And it's going to be a part of it that, yes, all of the mutants, that was a thing, but no one ever talked about it. S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra made sure no one talked about it. And that's going to be what it's going to be. So they're going to introduce the mutants. Like, no, mutants have always been there. Fantastic Four has always been here. Just like Ant-Man. Ant-Man was always there. There was always the super science and stuff going on all the way back to the freaking 60s and the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't just stop. It's just that no one talked about it. They kept it under wraps. And when you have Professor Xavier saying, you didn't see nothing, it suddenly becomes completely logical that, we didn't see nothing. What? But then, when you go to Wakanda, suddenly Wakanda and Storm, and they fall in love, and it becomes a thing. And that's the opening, and it reveals the whole idea that here are the mutants, here's the Fantastic Four, here's Isaiah Bradley, here's all this stuff that you thought you knew, but actually isn't what you knew, because there's a whole hidden history of the Marvel Universe
and that's
you never even imagined.
The movie that kicks off Phase 4, just saying. Just saying, not for nothing.
I'm just agreeing 100%. And I think that's what they're going to do. That's how they're going to integrate it. Not with some, oh, what if Wanda in the Multiverse of Madness brings the mutants? And nope, they were always there. They were always there.
So is she going to bring her brother back?
Well, she's going to bring a different brother in, but you know.
She's bringing the Fox version in.
That's going to be where
I'm okay.
So what
with
they're going to do is they're going to have the Fox version come into that, so that white people don't get crazy about what there was a Marvel universe we didn't know about that had black people in it. We do not accept this reality at all. So no, that was just Wanda. But then it's going to be like, yeah, no, there was a whole other universe. And those who can accept the reality that there was always another universe that you didn't know about, kind of like, oh, that's cool. There was a behind the scenes reveal, and I kind of see I'm going to make connections from stuff that they mentioned in earlier episodes of Luke Cage and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to make it all make sense now. Because that's the fun of a no price, is I make the connections even if they weren't there. But for those who are so mad, they're going to say, oh, well, that's because, Wanda made the mutants exist and they had to make it work.
You heard it here first, folks. They're going to make super connections.
Well, they're going to do it, man. They're going to do it, because how else do they do it? They have to deal with those idiot fanboys who refuse to accept the idea that it's fictional and they're going to introduce something new and then do a hand-wavium on it. And they have to deal with people that are like cool with that. So the way they do that is they're going to create a hand-wavium in the Multiverse of Madness with Quicksilver coming in from another universe. And then they're going to say, and then that's going to be completely unrelated to the fact that T'Challa and Storm get married in Black Panther 2, which will be fun.
My big thing.
And I will not call Black Panther 2 what I normally would call a second episode of a thing.
Charlie Ether.
On that note,
I know where Lilith's going.
Phil's Comics Corner.
Yeah. It was a light week on Marvel. What's up with that?
Well, there was no Marvel, really. I think there might have been some trades or something. I don't know. I don't know if they're... I think for a while, they've been going 1 week comics, 1 week trades and stuff, but I think my guy said that's going to be coming to a close pretty soon.
Yeah, they're going to get back to regular production.
Yeah.
It's just...
I mean, all the stores are pretty much opening. If they're not open yet, they're opening up, soon here. Oh, but I know Charlie didn't read this, but Lilith, did you read Dark Knight's Death Metal?
That was a hard pass for me.
Did you?
I'm over the Batman who laughs. Like, you've milked the cow, you've beat the dead horse. Just bury it. Please just bury it. I'm over it. Not interested.
Spoilers. Well, he kind of gets taken out by Wonder Woman, so your wish may have come true.
Good.
Like taken out. Like, yeah.
No,
it looks like he gets blown up, so I would assume
he's got a contingency for it. Don't worry, folks. Just a false alarm. I'm just over it. I'm so over it. It's again. It was a novelty. It was cool, but then they went and built out this whole stupid universe for it, and it's not good. I'm sorry, Greg. It's not good.
Welcome to the bandwagon, Lilith. We have apple juice.
It's reached Frank Miller proportions. At this point, it's like we're gonna have to let this franchise die, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, again, I mean, it's like the theme of a lot of DC books now. It's like, there have been several universes before this one. And I guess.
Well, can we make one that's more interesting? Can we go to the one that's more interesting, not one that's just all cliche and trite?
You're ready for this?
Also, thank you for stealing that idea from the Ultimates, but cool.
Lilith, you ready for this? So they're like, there've been all these crises, so now we got to pull a anti-crisis.
What the F?
Why? Somebody get Scott Snyder and Jeff Johns on the phone. Greg Capullo, this ain't it, buddy. This is not it. Move it along.
What is an anti-crisis? That doesn't even make sense.
We're gonna fix our multiverse, son.
No, you can't. Because as we learned in Marvel DC, that once that universe is created, the people in that universe didn't want to be erased from existence. They didn't want to stop existing. Freaking Superboy Prime didn't want to stop existing for the good of the multiverse. Superboy Prime was mad his universe got destroyed. Didn't see why his universe should have been cannon fodder for the DC Earth 2. You know?
Did you know Superboy
Do not
Prime?
hate on first. I love Superboy Prime.
Do you know he brought Jason Todd? Do you know he brought Jason Todd back to life?
I do know that, and
I mean,
Red Hood is good, but before that, Jason Todd was trash. I'm just saying.
Well, but Superboy Prime was trash too. So you know, the two trash characters, they're like, you know, they were created like Punchline to be a gag. Jason Todd was meant to be the stupid Robin that no one liked. Superboy Prime.
That is not true at all.
I'm going to say it's true because that's the outcome.
He was first created. He was first created.
And there was a guy that kept ringing.
He was first created to be a placeholder because they wanted Dick Grayson to go to Teen Titans and become Nightwing, but then after Crisis, they just turned him into a major dick.
Whatever happened. And like Superboy Prime, these are these characters that were sort of essentially. Have you ever seen The Last Action Hero?
Yes, of course. It's
the greatest film ever made. And there's a great
look.
If you're a person who cares about characters, that's a great film because you have this whole scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger's sitting there saying, "Yeah, push his son off of a building, give him nightmares for the rest of his life. What does it matter? He's just a fictional character." And Superboy Prime, Jason Todd, Punchline, they're fictional characters that no one cares about when they get a crowbar to the face. And they're written to get a crowbar to the face.
I think you're totally wrong about Punchline, Charlie. I'm just sorry. I'm just gonna
you wait until Harley Quinn picks up as I said, it's got to be a lady that does it, but a lady can crowbar her as good as any Joker on a Jason Todd.
Look, I'm just gonna say, you can that can be your headcanon, that can be your fanfic. Not gonna happen.
You guys want to
have big plans for Punchline.
You guys want to? I was gonna say, you guys want to put some action down on this?
I don't know. I mean,
they got big plans for Punchline. That's all that I can say at this point.
Look, that they have big plans doesn't mean it's gonna sell.
And she's very well received. I'm sorry by the people.
Okay, well, maybe she's well received. Hey, look, I could be wrong. Lots of characters like Nick from Family Ties or Urkel from Family Matters.
Poor Reginald Valjean. Don't even get me started.
Grow out of their original introductions. I just don't see it yet with Punchline. Of course, I don't read all the books, so maybe in other books she's better. But
she's just not your cup of tea. But they wrote this for a specific demographic, and that demographic is eating it up. Eating it up.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, and not to put the boot on it.
The boot?
But eating it up in comic books, Lilith. You know, let's.
I mean, for DC, that's a big thing. Like, people haven't been this like energized and conversations going for a long time about a character.
But you know, it's telling that Harley Quinn started outside of the books and had to be brought into the books to make the books actually sell because she was way better outside of the books. Where actually people
she didn't need to be a comic book character. I stand by that fully. I've never really cared for a Harley book, period. So.
Oh.
Ooh. Well, you know, fair enough.
Paul Dini
I'm not
did
gonna.
it.
I'm not gonna mortgage
Oh, yeah.
my house on Harley Quinn. I'm an Ambush Bug fan, so it's they're just sitting on the $1 million
Harley
prize,
Quinn
and they
is
don't want
a
to
female character for me. That's all that
undig
I'm
it.
saying.
But yeah. So that's that story.
But speaking of multiverse fun, Lilith, did you read Young Justice 15?
I actually did. I'm enjoying it. It's not what I want, but I like the story well enough.
I mean, basically, Impulse tells Superboy, because he's been through the Speed Force. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, I know about the multiverse. Always turns over. And hey, last time
Take a drink every time a book says multiverse.
Exactly. It's like last time you were out of this universe, so when it flipped over, history forgot about you.
If only DC would. If only
Oh.
DC.
What about Connor?
It would be nice if DC could just embrace a quantum mechanical structure and just accept it. For all their quantum mechanical superheroes, it's like, dude, just say this is how our physics work and let it be, So like, no, what they do is they DC exists in a story verse rather than the physics verse. Which means that, when characters get forgotten about, they go to the island of forgotten characters, which we saw in, I think it was Ultimate Crisis or some Crisis.
Well,
that's where you got like the guy who had the broken beer bottles as his weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they have Marvel-itis now, because before they'd always be like, okay, that was last continuity, forget about that. Okay, that was pre-Crisis, forget about that. Now they're just like, oh, everything counts, everything from Action Comics #1.
It's a desperate move because young readers aren't picking up the books like they want them to, and they got to appeal to the nostalgia factor.
Yeah, see.
Well, what they need to do is they need to Rick and Morty it. And just say nothing matters. This is a new universe. Why do you assume
nihilism, brother?
Why do you assume this is the same universe you read last issue?
I mean, the continuity sure as hell ain't there, so they might as well.
Well, exactly. It seems like that's where they want to go. So go full Rick and Morty. That's Cartoon Network. That's part of the brand. Just have Rick Sanchez show up. So, is this universe with Superman? Okay, yeah, I'm done. And just walk out, and there we go. It's like, wait, this is what? What happened now? And that solves all of your continuity problems from there on in. Marvel.
I mean, honestly, a few of the books have felt like that. Like, I know that the Batman books definitely feel like there's kind of this disjointedness to it a little bit.
Well, but the thing is, when you try to cram in continuity, you have to create a physics for it. And Marvel did this with the idea when they codified sliding time in the Ultimates. Where they said, no, time isn't one thing. It's a stream, and if certain things have weight, they get carried forward. Which is a unique way to look at time and space in this universe, but that's that universe's physics.
I just don't get why they're so gung-ho about this now. Well, like Lilith was saying, I guess for the nostalgia people, but it's like modern comics, not even just DC, modern comics in general, Marvel and DC don't seem to care about continuity. So why all of a sudden do you want everything to count?
Nostalgia, cash grab. That's just how it is.
But honestly, and to be fair, they're only going nostalgia to 1980.
That's a long time ago, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yes, I understand that.
That's a good chunk of time.
Trust me, I realized that.
Now, Charlie.
I realized that when I realized that the 90s were no longer a time that included young people. Trust me. There's a meme about like how we're totally into Gregorian chants in the 90s. I was like, oh yes, I remember that time.
What? I did not listen to the grunge rock 2 years ago. What?
But the idea that yes, that was a thing, and then it stopped being a thing in the 90s.
Anya or something, like, because even I didn't get that.
No, you don't. You're probably too young. Yeah, no, there was a whole thing with there was a group of ironically Franciscan monks from San Francisco, who recorded an album of Gregorian chants, and it was like huge for a while back when CDs were a thing. This is like in the later stages of physical media for music.
I still have albums. You don't have to talk to me like that.
I have CDs somewhere.
Look. Okay, Lilith. When someone your age collects albums,
I mean, they sell albums at Walmart, Charlie. I don't know if you know, but they do.
Well, they may still make albums. I'm just saying there was a time when the mode of communication was a physical laser disc, and that was how we understood music.
Laser.
Lasers. Sharks. Yes. So, I got a lot of likes on my thing about readable CDs and saying, yeah, I used to remember getting my old soldering gun and writing it. A lot of people loved that post, so I'm happy that exists in the cosmos. But yeah, so yes, there was a time in the 90s. It was the early 90s, Lilith, so you were probably like 6. It was like 92. This was when I was graduating high school, so so yeah. No, it was very big for a very brief period where Gregorian chants had a huge comeback. Because everything comes back around eventually.
Obviously. I mean, look at us. We got the market crash and a plague in 2020. Like clockwork.
What the F?
Yeah, we can't all be TikTok and just see 10 seconds into the future, but if only they sold lottery tickets 10 seconds before. Although, you really think about it, like, literally, you could make a lot of money going to Vegas with that.
Craps, baby, craps.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
Unless, of course, in the Marvel universe, they actually have a rule like, no, 20 seconds.
Oh, my Lord. How much money?
How many people have that 10-second view?
How much money do you think you can make on a Kickstarter if you're like, we're trying to build a time machine?
Hey, man, I watched Primer. I think I cracked the code.
I think you actually have to do it to actually keep the money, though. That's the problem.
You need a flashy thing.
Oh, no. One of them you do, one of them you don't. I don't know which one is which, though.
Indiegogo, you don't have to do anything.
Keep it vague. Time machine, and we're like, oh, we built a giant clock.
Boom! Lawyered!
Well, you really got to be careful with that stuff. But
it's a time machine.
There's enough people that'll give you money for nothing to make anything happen. That much I know. Except not to me.
Go to the Patreon. Star Trek, Starfleet All Access.
Much more cheap.
Learn about the Ka and why Vulcans are awful.
Much cheaper than a time machine.
Yeah. I was kind of bummed that Marvel was light this week, so I was just like, I was all ready to go buy some Marvel, and
yeah, me too. Honestly, I'm like, I don't understand why Marvel's holding off.
But I'm gonna tell you, DC's Wonder Woman this week, she had like 3 books, and they were all pretty good.
Oh, did you actually read the main book?
Yeah, I read the main book.
Did you like it? I didn't think you were reading the main book anymore.
I mean, the other 2 were so good. I was just like, you know what? Just go ahead and throw it in. Here, take my shekel. She needs the support. Maybe we'll get her a better writer. I don't know.
Thank you for the drop.
Maybe if we keep buying the books, we can afford a better writer.
Oh.
I don't like how there's glimpses of greatness. I'm not gonna lie, every so often in this run, but then it just gets squandered and it's just absolutely frustrating. Well, the artwork is stellar, but that story is something to grit your teeth through. Let me tell you.
What's so weird because it's Steve Orlando, and I swear he was on this book before, and then they brought in G. Willow Wilson.
Yeah.
And then they're back to Orlando for some reason.
people, I just feel like people modern day people just don't have any idea what to do with Wonder Woman. Unfortunately,
I mean,
Can I just say, I'm sorry, who's doing it now?
Steve Orlando.
Steve Orlando.
Okay, so
can we get Kelly Thompson on the phone?
I was gonna
she's
yeah.
busy with
Well,
Sabrina
look,
and Deadpool.
look, it's
that sounds like a fun answer
it's
for us.
easy to go to Kelly Thompson. It's easy to go to these people, but it's like I don't know when you have G. Willow Wilson and then you're going to go away from her.
Well,
It sounds like there's a systemic problem. There's a systemic.
Yeah, they don't have a good editor over Wonder Woman, and even the movies are kind of, it's pedestrian. But you got to cater to the lowest common denominator, especially when it's a DC movie. I get it.
I mean, it just seems like they don't have a direction. It almost seems with Wonder Woman right now. It just seems like, okay, what are we doing for a story? Okay, let's throw in some Themyscira stuff. Let's throw in some mystical stuff. Yeah. Okay, that's a story.
I guess
to be fair, I'm okay with them keeping her away from Batman and Superman at this point. I am totally fine with that because they're both kind of a mess. I don't need a Trinity book right now. I don't.
I'm always watching.
Let's throw in the descendants of Nazis. Yeah, let's see.
Here's what I'm
I thought the other two books were super good. Agent of Peace #6 and Wonder Woman Dead Earth #3. Just absolutely freaking fantastic. This should be the main book. Just saying. I like the Agent of Peace because I really do like that take on Wonder Woman. So I think a lot of people forget. Especially the modern day, they want her to be all rough and tough and ruthless.
I mean, I haven't read the last couple. Well, I have a couple in the thing I haven't read yet, but I did like. Did you like that Agent of Peace? What was it, #2, where she teamed up with Lois?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was good.
And that's hashtag feminism without having to say hashtag feminism. That's how you do a story like that. That's why I appreciated it. And the Lois Lane book's still good. It's not too late to jump on the bandwagon, guys. Lois Lane has continued to be good.
Well, there's one more issue left that I'm assuming probably not too long after that they're probably going to put it out in trade.
Yeah.
So
when
yeah,
it comes out in trade, I'm definitely going to be pushing it. Don't you worry.
I was going to say if you're not picking up the single issues, get the trade when it comes out. Because yes, that was a good series. Well, because there's one more issue left.
There was an Archie book out. It was Vampire the New Blood, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's losing the plot. I'm not gonna lie, it's losing the plot threads. They're all over the place. They need to refocus these last 2 issues for sure.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. I think Archie needs a gym shooter, a strong hand to unite their universes, to understand that you can do these stories interconnectedly. I'm just gonna
see. I disagree. I like the fact that I don't like. You can just pick up, Veronica and Betty's Girl Game book, and that doesn't have anything to do with the main thing. And then you also have the one that's based on Riverdale, the TV show. I kind of that's the thing with DC that I was they always try to make everything samey, and I just don't like that. Explore what you want to explore, but don't bring it into my comic books. Let the comic books be its own better thing. Fight me, man.
Fair enough. Comic books are hard.
They are. I mean, if it was easy, I'd be doing it.
You could do it. Come on.
I can do the writing, no problem. It's the drawing.
Well, yeah.
That's the story. It's drawing is hard.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get a job writing, I mean, they'll assign you an artist, don't they?
Well, no. Usually they assign an artist to a writer rather than sending a writer to an artist. Yeah.
No, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. If you're in a writer, they'll give you an artist.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's very hard to break in as a writer.
Yeah.
Usually, you have to be an artist. You understand sequential storytelling.
Yeah.
As an artist, and then once you're an artist, you can write a story.
Writing for comic books is definitely kind of a hard medium, especially if you've written any other kind of stories. It just, it's hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
You
think
can always tell people who used to be comic book writers and went into TV. That's all that I can say. I know quite a few of them.
because I think
Yeah.
I think Kevin Smith's even said it. He's like writing for comics is like writing for nothing out, like no other medium.
Yeah, well, because it's a storyboard that never becomes a movie,
True.
which means you have to convey everything you want to do in a storyboard, or everything you want to convey in a movie in the storyboard, and that is really hard. It is not easy to do what they do,
Especially if you don't want a million
which is why
monologue
every
boxes.
comic book writer is a millionaire because of how hard the work is. Because the work equates the value, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deceptively hard. Welcome to your capitalist dystopia. Can you not let me enjoy this?
Yeah, but anyway,
On that note, it's getting
on
late,
that
boys.
note, on all these notes,
Old lady Hellfire is falling asleep. So.
Oh, I do want to shout out Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #5. Literally the best book I read this week.
Oh.
But I'm a 90s kid, so what do I know? That's like the ultimate team up, literally. But they're doing a good, like, it's not like superfluous at all. It's a really good story. So you want to wait for trade. Issue 6 should be out next month, and then after that it should be out. So, but yeah.
Thank you for pandering to Lilith Hellfire.
Exactly.
she's very popular.
Oh, hey, Lilith, did you read Green Lantern?
Boom knows what the kids want.
True that.
See the kid. Hey, Lilith, did you read Green Lantern season 2, number 4?
I actually have it, but I didn't get a chance to read it today.
You could tell just like Morrison is like a fan of like the Silver Age. I mean, I've said it before, but it's just like, Flash, Green Lantern team up, Golden Giants. They even have that woman who
Shut up.
They even have that woman Hal Jordan used to be a competitive toy salesman against. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Morrison's doing deep dives.
He's doing deep something.
Whoa. Ayahuasca, what? But no, I mean, I like season 1, but I'm liking season 2 even better. So
I honest to God feel like this is what they're gonna take a little bit of that Green Lantern show on HBO Max for. Like that's why it feels so cinematic in its storytelling. Like that's just a feeling that I have. I don't know why.
I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Morrison like a role on the TV show. Either producer or writing something or.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they did that format for a reason.
Yeah.
And the only reason I can think of is HBO Max.
It's coming, people.
Lord knows HBO Max needs all the help it can get. And also, where's my Gossip Girl reboot reunion already?
Or the Friends or the Friends reunion.
And I can leave the Friends reunion. They're terrible people. It's fine. I'd rather keep It's Always Sunny going than have a Friends reunion. I'll tell you that much.
The one where Lilith is wrong.
It's Always Sunny's are objectively worse people than the Friends people.
If you say so. The way I see it.
I mean, all you can say about the Always Sunny people is they are honest about their awfulness.
Yes.
It's like saying, Hitler's a nicer guy than,
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. Well, no. Well,
debatable.
There's actually not really a lot of evidence that Genghis Khan was actually a horrible person.
I don't know why he went to Hitler. He should have been like, Stalin, kind of a better guy than Hitler, but.
Well, no, Stalin was. It's like saying
it's degrees. It's degrees. I mean, they're all scum, but it's like degrees.
Yeah, it's like yeah, it's like they're all awful. So yeah, when you actually deal with human history, they're all awful. There's really no redemptive quality in any great man in human history. They all murdered millions of people and are bad people. So, including Winston Churchill, who was probably the most evilest man to get away with his crimes.
That's why Lil Hellfire is the smartest person in the world.
Caring for another human being that isn't myself.
Human beings aren't bad. It's just when they have power, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's
absolute power corrupts absolutely.
yeah, which is why, you know, this is why I think Uncle Ben actually doesn't, you know, if we're going to go with Uncle Ben as Mephisto, and the idea that Mephisto is the devil and that he is the fallen angel Lucifer, what he wants is to get back to heaven. And so he says, look, I know power corrupts, but understand, with great power comes great responsibility.
Take a drink, Lil.
And so Spider-Man actually tries to be a better person, because when Satan takes a holiday, he's not trying to do evil. He actually wants people to be better, because he's still an angel.
On medicine soon.
Satan takes a holiday, man. People have done it. My idea is better, but still, I appreciate everyone who's done it before me. So
I just read
that screenplay written.
I just read the greatest script ever. Who wrote it? I did.
Wait, who is he? Lilith on fire? I forget what I said. I was like, yeah, my script was.
Like I actually take the time to write my ideas down. No, they're all in here, and they will die with.
Or dictate them. What I do is I dictate them in a tape recorder.
I was gonna say teach Tristan to type.
Oh, Tristan will write his own stories in his own time.
Boy, take this down.
He doesn't need me to infect him with my ideas. That's the thing. Like, these kids, they're going to do way more than I ever could. If I gave them a place to stand, that's all I need. And that's why we have a Father's Day.
Preach.
Which tomorrow is it tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You know, this comes out at any time in the near future. Yeah.
Well, this will be...
on that note, then belated.
Since Lilith yelled at me about that last show about no, this won't post till then. It's like, well, you know, yeah. On YouTube, it's tomorrow. On today, it's today. You know, so. I love you.
Time skills.
See me pulling my strings?
Yeah, I know. You pull the strings like so much Bela Lugosi and Glenn or Glenda.
I mean, speaking of brutal warlords, Rob Southgate demands a set schedule, okay?
See, that's why I don't get into the business side of this. I just talk.
I just look pretty and spout words.
I grow a fabulous mustache, which the ladies love, so I'm told. And after that, it's all you, Philip. You do the hard work. I do the easy work. Yeah, I know. It's awful. I wish I... See, now I feel bad about that statement because I should do more hard work.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Just make sure you're not feeling overwhelmed because...
I just show up and look pretty and spout big words and then I'm done.
At the end of the day, Phil, I am here for you. So if there's something I could do, I just know that I'm an incompetent, and so I don't want to push you to like rely on me to do something. That's my problem, is I know my limitations, and they're very, very big.
I don't want
to drag you down.
Bullshit in the head is excellent. You're doing fine.
I know your strengths. Big imaginative theories and eye candy. I know your strength.
Fabulous mustache.
That was literally the perfect producer. Y'all don't even know. That was like the perfect producer answer. I won't say what show it was, but
Phyllis gritted his job.
Something I heard behind the scenes.
Wait, what?
Back in the day when I was a production assistant, that sounds very similar to something that I heard a producer say to a star. Not gonna say what show. Not gonna say it.
Charlie Esser, my starlet.
Phil is good at his job. I'm not denying it. Phil is honestly one of the best producers I've ever met, and I actually technically am a producer. And I will say he is way better than me. I think if Phil made films, Phil would be freaking Woody Allen. He would
You
be
know what?
great.
Oh,
We're gonna get
Without
Phil
the
into
sex
DC
stuff,
somehow, some way. We're gonna get him in on the Warner's lap somehow, some way.
I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now: AT&T, Time Warner, or Disney. Disney. I know you don't need to scrape the barrel, but if you wanted to, Disney,
Is this supposed to be
Phil Filmy and Parrish is the best producer you could find. Disney. Oh, I'm sorry. Eight, whatever your company is, AOL, Time Warner. Phil is the man who could save you, could make you better than you are. I'm saying this right now.
I guess I'll take the backhanded compliment. You're like, Disney, he could save you if you want to scrape him off the bottom of the barrel.
Well, no, Philip, no, you're missing
I know.
an understanding here. So you are a diamond in the rough. You are something that is so perfect and beautiful, but that many would overlook because, first off, you're under Rob Southgate, Master Doom. You're living in Latveria. So there's lots of brilliant people in Latveria who never get to outshine Doom the way they should. You have to come to America where you get to outshine. Richards is cool with you outshining him. He's like, oh wow, here's freaking the lady with the dinosaur, and she's smarter than me, so that's cool. I'm fine with that. I don't mind. My own daughter's smarter than me. It's cool. I hope she develops emotional maturity, but that's life. Under Latveria, which is what AT&T is.
Wait, I was gonna end this 5 minutes ago, but keep kissing my butt, Charlie. I could do this all day.
No, look, Philip. Look, I'm not being. Look, you are good at your job. You
the best of what I do.
Establish a entire network under this Capes and Lunatics, and you
got a thumbs up on Facebook.
I'm just saying, Philip, you're good at this job, and honestly, if DC would reach out to you and say, Phil Parrish, I hear all this talk about you being good at your job. So what the heck's your job? And can you tell me what you do? I guarantee you're going to walk into that meeting and you're going to say, well, first thing I do is whatever it is you would do, Philip, and you will be right. And they're going to say, that's not a bad idea. We never thought of that before. And I think you would coordinate things in a way that would make DC a much better organization than they are.
Thank you, Charlie Esser. I'd walk in there, kick over the table. I'd be like, okay, step one, give me that Snyder cut. You know where we're going to put this?
Okay, well, you lost me, Phil. But
no. Give me the Snyder cut. You know where we're going to foul this? Down the toilet.
Okay. I see where you're going with that. Then. Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Well, no. I mean, it's gonna be monetarily valuable to them.
Yeah.
So I get why they're going to release it, because it's like, okay, fine, you stupid idiots, just subscribe to HBO Max.
I'm not asking for much, Warners. Just make me the Kevin Feige of DC. That's all.
No, I think they could do a lot worse.
They could do a lot worse, Philip. Trust me.
And I will bring this team in.
And he actually likes Batman and Superman.
Exactly.
He actually likes them. Is. No edgelord shenanigans needed.
He is really actually good at his job. And so, please, DC, AT&T, Time Warner, AOL, which actually isn't part of them anymore, which makes me super sad and super mad at them for being so stupid to give away that intellectual property. It's just 3 letters that you once owned, and why would you sell that? Because it was literally the first of the group, and you sold it because you're stupid, and because you're stupid, it's why you're having problems. And hire Phil Parrish, he will tell you what to do. It's like he tells me what to do, because that's why I'm successful.
That's right. I'll bring this team in.
Don't.
I'll be
I
on
don't
my
do a lot.
best behavior, I promise.
Can I work from home?
Sure, you'll be the idea man.
Hey, I heard that they're actually working from home until 2021. A lot of these big companies, so probably.
Nice. Oh yeah, I think
I'm cool. I'm actually, as an HR professional, I'm saying everyone who can should.
I think most of the big
There's
companies are
no
doing
reason
that.
for any human to go into an office at this point.
Yeah, I think everyone who
We
can.
found out what meetings could have been emails. Am I right, people? Office people?
I'm just saying the bunker is best. No one needs to come out of the bunker until the Wi-Fi dies. So,
Okay. If we're done kissing my butt, let's get out of
On
here.
that note,
All right, everyone.
it's a lovely butt to kiss.
Thank you.
Just
All right.
ask your wife.
Oh.
look at my butt.
All right, everyone. I'm sure we've shocked you with many things tonight.
What the F?
So, if you want to comment on any of it, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, follow the YouTube channel, Instagram, all of it, all in one convenient place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And oh, hey, remember, check out our sponsors, Tweaked Audio. Hear us in crystal clear HD with Tweaked headphone. Hey, want to be the hero of your own story? Go get Hunt a Killer. Look at me being all Charlie Esser. All right. And if you want to know all the ins and outs of podcasting, go check out Pod Life the Book, Volume 1, because Volume 2 is in the works. So get in on the ground floor before, Volume 2 comes out. And when you go to buy that on Amazon, use the link down there in the show notes. I don't care if it's YouTube, the podcast, the link is down there in the show notes. Click on it when you do all your Amazon shopping, because help us support this show, the network, and the aforementioned madman, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Go back and look at my history, and you will find out I am right so much more often than I'm wrong. Mark my words.
And there are more Rob Southgate drops coming. I asked him for 2 the other day, so stay tuned. Lilith Hellfire.
If you nerds want to hang out with me on the interwebs to talk about Stargirl and Mean Girls and high school drama, you can find me on Twitter at Lil Hellfire, or with the mean Girls and Cool Kids on Instagram at Lil Hellfire86 or Lil Hellfire69, because I love being a meme.
Be gentle with me. Can you not talk and let me enjoy this?
Perfect. Literally perfect.
Lil Hellfire date night.
Can you not talk and let me enjoy this?
Charlie Esser.
We had a movie.
And if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, where you want to talk about shows that don't need to have to explain themselves after the fact and talk about how that thing they did that was horrible and mean to someone is actually completely within context, write to me at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Phil took a drink. I don't know if that's a thing now. And of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is awesome. If you're not watching it, you should be, at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIE ESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing.
Thank you, Maz. And make sure you scroll up to Enough Said and listen to me and Maz talk about the last episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. there.
Or go over to the Enough Said podcast.
Or scroll up. I don't know how this works, but yeah. It's somewhere.
I don't know what if this works.
I know.
Sit there and look pretty, Esser. I thought we had this conversation. All
I'm
right.
going to stroke my mustache.
While he's stroking it, for another week, we have been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics.
There you go.
Everyone's tired.
Pickle. Oh, probably not.
That's what happens when you drink in podcasts. It's fine.
Yes, this is what happens.
Charlie can relate.
Warner's call me.